So you want to know the best way to blast through your creative blocks? I'm going to do a little riff on a blog post that I wrote recently right after this little ditty. I've lost count of the number of conversations I've had over the years that went something like this. So, why aren't you doing more with your art, or your music, or your writing? The person I would be speaking with would respond, I know I should be doing more, but something internally is stopping me. I need to do some deep personal work to figure out what the block is so I can move past it. Perhaps you've uttered something like this to yourself when you felt frustrated about your creative progress. Either you never start projects, or you get rolling with them but get cold feet before completing them, or some other form of self-sabotage creeps in to stop you. There's a feeling that a mysterious force is putting up an obstacle, and you have no idea what it is or why it repeatedly curses you. Many people feel the need to clearly identify the culprit so they can root it out and banish it from their psyche. Some people spend years going through this process. I get that. Self-awareness is a helpful personal growth tactic. As Socrates said, the unexamined life is not worth living. Serious introspection can definitely help you discover unconscious mental programs that hold you back, which then allows you to overcome the limiting beliefs that fuel them. But there's another way to break through blocks that I've found to be even more effective with faster results. So here's my secret weapon. Instead of spending a lot of time and energy figuring out what is stopping you, spend that same time and effort making something cool. Overwhelm the interior barrier with creative action. I know, easier said than done, but this is why it works. Your creative blocks grow stronger every time you let them win through inaction and stagnation. You validate their existence when they are allowed to squash your creative expression or your desire to share your art with the public. Sure, you could eventually weed out your internal obstacles by attending workshops and retreats, journaling, meditating, consulting trusted mentors, etc. Those are all great steps to take. But you can also get there by blasting through them with action. Sure, they will no doubt scream bloody murder the first few times you move forward while you ignore their demands to stay within your comfort zone. But as soon as you make progress with a project, and especially when you actually finish one and share it with people, that mean old nasty block will grow smaller. Its voice will get thin, and its muscles will atrophy. The block will lose its power and become impotent. And here's the most important thing. When you get to that point where you are creating and sharing your work and celebrating your victory over your former creative block, will it really matter why it was there in the first place? Your main goal is to blast through the block and overcome it, not to know its life story. So, the next time you find yourself wrestling with an internal demon, you'll know what to do. Overwhelm it with creative action. That's it. So I hope that little rant will help you if you're currently dealing with that issue or if you encounter it in the future. Because a lot of people do wrestle with this stuff. I just feel stuck. I can't get started. And they think they need to look under the hood and determine what's blocking them. But I don't know. The way I've lived my life, I always err on the side of just taking action and trying stuff. And that usually just obliterates whatever the obstacle was. Another way you can power up your internal creative strength is to check out The Empowered Artist. That's the book that I published last year that I'm extremely proud of. It's helped many people. It's got 45 principles based on my own life in the arts and the 13 years that I've been self-employed, and based on the hundreds and hundreds of interviews that I've done over the years with people in successful creative fields, and whittled it down into the top principles that I believe fuel the most successful creative people. So you can check that out at empartist.com. That's like empowered, the first three letters of it, empartist.com. You can find out more about that there. And again, if you'd like to support my ongoing efforts to inspire and empower creative people around the world, you can help me in that effort by going to patreon.com/Bob Baker. That's it for this episode. Have an awesome week. I will be back and talk to you real soon. So long for now.